Okay, good evening. I would like to call to order the Community Development Committee meeting for July the 6th, 2021. It is currently 5:21. Roll call, please.
Alderman Turner.
Here.
Alderman Hayes. Alderman Florian.
Here.
Vice Chair Mozio.
Here.
Chair Rivera.
Present. Thank you. I would like to see if I can have a motion to approve the minutes of the Community Development Committee meeting on June the 7th, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Florian, seconded by Alderman Turner.
Alderman Turner. Oh, sorry.
Roll call.
Second.
Sorry.
That was the roll call.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't wait for anybody if anybody had any changes. So, sorry.
I'm sorry. Aye.
Alderman Hayes, not here. Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Vice Chair Mozio.
Aye.
Chair Rivera.
Aye. Thank you. Number 2, audience time. If we have anybody in the audience that wishes to speak? No? Okay. Then we move on to old business. There being no old business, we're going to move on to new business. And I will take a motion to approve a resolution consenting to execution of solar lease agreements by Yeoman Creek Remediation Group.
So, Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Yes.
I'd asked last.
Well, let me take a motion and then a second, and I'll open up for questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion, please,
So moved.
by Alderman Florian, second by
Sure.
Alderman Mozio. Thank you. Okay, your question, sir?
Yeah. So I had this is in my ward, and the Yeoman Creek landfill, the northern boundary is we'll refer to it. It's kind of an alley that is behind that strip mall where the Sunset House restaurant is located, right? So
Yes.
Sunset House is on the west end, and Huey Tobias Allstate Agency is on the east end, right?
Correct.
So when they capped that landfill, they put in some monitoring and equipment and bleed-off equipment to bleed off the gases and monitoring how the gas levels.
Yeah.
They included that included building a shed to contain some of that equipment on the property, on taking up parking spaces. And there's a lot of duct work and machinery down in the basement. All of that stuff is now defunct and unused, and someone needs to remove it from Mr. Tobias shouldn't bear the burden of the expense in removing their equipment. They put it in there, right? So I wanted to investigate, and I don't know if Tom can hear me, Tom Millard, but we were going to investigate what the status is on that and who ultimately is responsible, and see if we can fold that in.
I've taken over the representation that Bob Long had with the Yeoman Creek Remediation Group.
Great.
And so if you send me the details of that, I can talk to them, because the landfill is getting very close to being moved from an actively managed site to a passively managed site, which is very good for the city because
Yes.
it's going to reduce our costs. But if there is equipment that has been left on private property, we'll want to address that.
All right, so if I'm missing, I think I understood we were going to set up a meeting to discuss all of this, and Tom was going to look at some stuff. So what I'm going to do is get a meeting up on the calendar with you, me,
Perfect.
Mr. Tobias, the mayor, and so on and so forth.
Perfect.
All right.
I can coordinate with Tom and you, and we'll set a time.
So should we do? Should we hold this one over until we have that meeting?
I would not, and here's why. Because this is this project, as you know, is very costly. The allocation is about, I think we put in about $200,000 last year, or this past April. those costs are going to be ongoing, even when it moves from a passively or an actively managed site to a passively managed site. What this allows is that a solar field is going to be put on there, and it's going to generate power. That power and the proceeds from the lease are going to offset the city's costs, the school district's costs, all the stakeholders' costs. Long term, the estimate is that it's going to save the city about $800,000 over the next 20 years. So this is something that had been negotiated, and I know that Bob Long had talked to you guys about it. This has nothing to do with the actual equipment you're talking about, but it does allow us to say, it allows us to start saving money, and this project needs to be up and running by next spring. Okay. So I'd like to disconnect those two issues with the promise that Thomas and I will follow up on that issue.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, great. Thank you for that explanation. Okay, so do we have a roll call, please?
Yes. Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Hayes. Not here. Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye. Motion pass. Okay, item number B, I believe the petitioner has withdrawn his application for this. That also is also item number C. It's the same petitioner has also withdrawn that application. So item D, a motion to approve the 2021 Annual Action Plan Amendment in the amount of $797,247, which is an additional amount of $11,578 as presented.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, I have a motion by Alderman Turner, seconded by
I'll second.
Alderman Florian. God bless you. Any questions or concerns regarding this? Roll call, please.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Hayes, not present. Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Vice Chair Moiseo.
Aye.
I'm going to keep switching titles. I'm going to call you
Mo is fine.
Chair Rivera, please.
Aye. And we have approval. Thank you very much. The next item is item number 5, reports and communication. We'll have a discussion and consideration, creation of a Class A-2 craft brewery liquor license for Ooh-Wee Sweet Tea number 29, located at 29 North Genesee Street, Waukegan, Illinois 60085. And I believe we have a gentleman here that'll just give us a brief explanation as to what. You can, yeah, come up to the mic.
We'll need
that
the
way we can
microphone.
hear you.
If you speak in the mic, then we can record it.
So watch what you say.
It's a hot mic.
You might have to move it closer.
Yeah, there you go.
Did I?
I don't think so.
Tom's going to help you.
Hold on. Aye.
We have this problem every so often.
Test. Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to speak about this, and I want to thank you for your time and consideration. When I first applied for this license to be a distillery, at the time I thought the federal government would allow it, but unbeknownst to me, after I got through the whole licensing process with the federal government, they denied me because the building where I'm located has residents on top of me, and the federal government does not allow to have distilled spirits where there's residents of fear of extra fire or whatever, but they do allow a brewery because it's a less flammable material, and so I do have that brewery license from the federal government. It's just I just need the back from you guys, this distinguished panel, to get me back down to a brewery so I can move forward. That's the only reason I'm asking for the change. At one time I thought it'd be allowed, but after you go through all the red tape and all the paperwork, and they come back and say, oh, we forgot you have residents on top. We can't have you have this license, but you can have the brewery license, which I had at first from you. But unbeknownst to me, I didn't know the federal government had that regulation. So now I'm asking just to go back down. I don't know if it's back down, but go back to my original license of a brewery license. I think it's the same cost as far as the license, but I know it's got to be a fee switch, so I understand I'm willing to pay that. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm fully compliant with the city the state and the federal government. And I'm willing to take questions, but I also want to thank the city clerk for helping me with this process. I tried to do it during May, and she says that's a bad time because when all the liquor licenses are going to be patient. So I just want to thank the city clerk's office for helping me guide me through this process. But I'm open to questions if the president, the board will allow, if you want to ask me questions about it.
Great. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I'm just curious. What is a craft brewery? What does that mean?
Well, craft is unique. So what it means is that you can do your own brews as far as you can do flavor. Like I do a pineapple beer, so it's craft. So therefore, it's different kind of flavors you can do. Instead of your IPAs, your Pilsners, you can make your own craft. You want a cherry, any kind of flavor. So it's craft, so you can make it unique to your style or whatever.
Okay,
So
great.
that's what it really means, is that you're doing your own craft. You're not following the regular IPA, Pilsner, whatever you might need.
All right, great, thank
And
you.
also the Illinois Liquor Control Act, there's a separate classification that was created to allow smaller brewers to come in and get state licenses. So it made it less burdensome for smaller businesses to get into the.
So is there some limitation on how much volume they can produce?
Yes, sir. I can answer that question, yes. By having a craft, you can only have so much. It may seem a big number, but only the one I'm applying for is only 5,000 gallons at the time.
A year?
Yes, ma'am. Because I'm asking, really, after I get this approval from you, then I'll apply with the state again for the special retail craft brew pub. And it gives you so many gallons you can make a year.
Okay, cool,
I
great.
don't think I'll be at 5,000. Hopefully I can get 5,000.
Yeah,
but-
we're
That's
hoping.
a lot.
So that's a lot when you look at it from that point of gallons. So for that license. Any other questions? I think that was a good question, though.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate your time and the explanation. Thank
For
you.
your consideration.
Oh, may we have your full name for the record,
Yes,
please?
sir. Sean Terrell White.
Thank you. Okay, and being no other items on the agenda, if I could have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Wait, did you want us? Talk to the chairman.
No, I'm sorry.
We can't hear
Can't
you.
hear you, gotta take the mask off, can't hear. Oh, Huey. See, I didn't even recognize him. He's
What is it regarding?
Yeah, he's here about the matter I discussed with the Yeoman Creek landfill.
Oh.
The resolution consenting to the solar field.
Oh,
solar
okay.
town,
Maybe Mr. Stu could just explain to him what he explained to you.
If you don't mind, Mr. Chairman. This
No,
is,
not
this
at
is
all,
Mr.
please.
Mr. and Mrs. Tobias.
Yes.
They own the property that I was speaking of at the end of that strip mall that is impacted by the equipment that was placed at the inception of that landfill being capped.
Correct.
So-
We'll have Corporation Counsel just talk to him privately about it.
Yeah, why don't we do that? If we,
Yeah.
can
Okay.
we
Yeah.
meet after the
We just had
committee?
a small discussion regarding it,
Yeah, thanks.
but thank you for your attendance. Thank you.
Just have
Thank you.
Mr. Weissman talk to him offline.
All right,
Okay, motion to adjourn
So moved.
second.
by Alderman Florian, seconded by Alderman Turner.
Got this down.
Roll call?
Alderman Turner?
Favors.
Aye.
Alderman Hayes, absent. Alderman Florian?
Aye.
Vice Chair Moiseo?
Aye.
Chair Rivera?
Aye. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.